You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com, sick old Cappy here. We go across today, almost clear across the planet, to Saudi Arabia, where our buddy Wadi writes, Dear Aaron, my name is Wadi. I'm an Arabian 26 years old guy. My sister was granted a scholarship to study a PhD in chemistry. She chose to study in the United States. My sister has a master's in chemistry from Ireland. Well, I got a bachelor's of science in physics from Ireland as well. But you guys are real losers. Dude, I just freaking wish American kids would just be like this. So we know the European style of living and education, etc. However, we have never visited the United States. Oh, well, you're in for a treat. My sister has a 1-year-old baby but can't travel alone. I have to travel with her. This is how the system works here. When she starts her PhD, I'll be covered by the government to study a master's in science in nuclear engineering or renewable engineering. I haven't made my choice yet. I opt for a video response. My question to you is, what is the best course for me to study? A Master's of Science in Nuclear Engineering versus a Master's of Science in Renewable Energy for the future, in your opinion, as I am genuinely thinking of leaving Auschwitz, aka Saudi Arabia, for good and live in the West. What is the best university, city, state for my sister and I to go to for the United States for living and studying? Bullet points about ourselves. We are looking for the best city, state that is, one, safe, secure, low crime. Pretty much every place is safe. Just don't go to major liberal bad parts of town. Every town has a bad part of town, and you'll find out. Look up bad part of town, and you'll find out. So, like, Minneapolis, you just don't go to the north side. That's it. Chicago, you don't go to the south side. That's it. Philly, just don't go to Philly. Period. Cheap. Our monthly allowance is $18.47 for my sister, $14.59 for me, and $275 for the child. And just for the listeners, if you didn't know, the Saudi, I had to have an email exchange and figure this out. The Saudi government is paying for their education. That's why, and they will pay for certain programs within the United States. For the future, in your opinion, as I'm genuinely thinking of leaving. Okay, cheap. Okay, it's where we get the government. It's all we get from the government. We're not allowed to work in the United States. Acceptable weather. Ireland's weather is so depressing. Yeah, then stay away from Seattle. University's easiness is acceptable, not extremely hard or impassable to finish. Not 6-year-long PhD program, for instance. Below is a list of, by the Saudi government, of the allowed universities to study at the United States. Please see the list below. We do not smoke or drink, so we're not interested in the nightlife of the city and not interested in girls or parties or beaches. It's okay, good. Yeah, we don't like to travel. Oh, man, you don't like to travel? Dude, you're going to... Okay, look, I think you're wrong on this. If you're going to come to the United States, you do have to allow yourself to travel. That's one thing. Let me tell you about my buddy Sadeep. Okay, my buddy Sadeep, he comes over from East India. And all the East Indians, they're working at like Abbott or Cummins Engines, all the engineers. And they would stay within their own group. They'd live in the same place, they eat at the same place, they work in the same place, and they never explored. Now, Sadeep was unique because he came out, and the only reason I met him is he wanted to learn swing dancing because he saw it on the TV and the movies, and he wanted, oh, this is American, I'd like to learn this particular type of dance. And that's how we met. And he had a much, much richer experience going out dancing, so we introduced him to jazz clubs, and we went salsa dancing, we did this, and we taught him how to sled with snow going down hills. And he had a much better experience for it. But then all of his colleagues, he tried to get them out, but they wouldn't go out. But now, with Sadeep, because he went out and actually explored, he got this advantage amongst all the other East Indians, and that is like, oh, Sadeep knows. He had a network, not necessarily of people, but he knew what was out there. And so Sadeep, they call it Sadeep's drink because he really liked Black Russians, that's what it's because Black Russian, it's a drink. And everyone started calling it Sadeep's drink when it was a Black Russian. But it gave him an edge where people would go to him. He had cachet or collateral, which would certainly give him an up in his career. Plus, the United States, there's a lot to visit and explore, especially in the United States. So don't, I know maybe you personally don't like to travel, but if you're going to fly halfway across the globe, go and check out Grand Canyon. I wouldn't do Yellowstone, but there's a ton of places, but we can maybe email that later. So, my sister could choose to study in Canada or U.S. is the U.S. or Canada better? I say Canada simply because we have more choice of schools. It's not that there aren't good schools in Canada, but if you come to the United States, we got a lot more schools to choose from. Do you have any general advices before or during studying in the United States? A ton. Please make video. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I was trying to figure out, like, okay, where's your sister's husband at? And he can't leave his job in Saudi. Okay, so she's at least married. So you guys, this is basically, you guys get a free education in the United States. You're going to take advantage of this for the next couple of years and then go back. Why are you stuck babysitting her and her kid? You're not. That's what the rules are because of Saudi Arabia. I understand why you think it's Auschwitz. I think it's bullshit, but that's neither here nor there. You got to play by the rules. Let's play by the rules to help our future. All right, then here's the real key question. Also, why do you want to get a master's in engineering as opposed to just getting an additional bachelor's in engineering? Haha. Because here's the problem with nuclear engineering. Everyone's trying to go clean. Everyone's trying to go renewable. And nuclear engineering is kind of on the downside where it's just maintenance. You keep up whatever nuclear power plants are out there, or you go into nuclear weapons. And that's kind of a small and decreasing niche. The government won't cover expenses for any bachelor's degree because they've already covered my bachelor's of science and physics. Okay, that's taken care of. I want a master's of science because I thought it's the logical next step. Do you think that another bachelor of science in nuclear engineering would take less time? No, it would take the same amount of time. I just thought it might be cheaper. But if they're paying for it, and there's more prestige that comes with a master's degree, so I'll go there. Please clarify, this is the most important point on my question. Please note, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, they're starting their nuclear programs these years, and they're going to build their first reactors. There isn't Saudi nuclear engineers. I might have a greater chance to get a job. So I might get a job if I had a Master's of Science in Nuclear Engineering or Renewable Energy or a Master's of Science in Nuclear Radiation Safety. If you have another program that is better than those, please let me know. I'm kind of lost. Okay, here's the real question. The clear answer for what you should major in is nuclear engineering. You should get your master's degree, because they're going to pay for it, and a master's degree has more cachet and more pull than a bachelor's degree. Also, yes, globally, or at least in the United States and the West, we're trying to get rid of nuclear engineering, no matter how efficient it is, because of environmental reasons and political reasons and leftist bullshit reasons. But if the Saudis and the United Arab Emirates are going to start launching their own nuclear reactors, you're absolutely 100% right. You guys totally depend on Western technology and Halliburton and McHughes and all these other guys. You require Western engineers to come in and do it. So if you're a Saudi, you're in the peninsula, you're one of the homeboys, you're one of the countrymen, and you have your degree, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with going and majoring in engineering and having your own domestic crew. I mean, look at fucking Venezuela. They fucking can't get... They got oil coming out of the ground. They got all these resources. They can't do jack fucking shit without white people and fucking white engineers going down there. So if you are a nuclear engineer and they have a nuclear program, awesome. Absolutely. Go and do it. I think that would be great. The only problem is you don't like Saudi Arabia. So you're going to be stuck in that country... And I think you might have more Western leanings. So it creates a paradox where it's like, okay, I'm a nuclear engineer, and I'm in demand in Saudi Arabia, or United Arab Emirates. But you don't really like it there. And maybe you like to live in the United States. So I can't answer that question for you. You know, I mean, then you go to the United States, and the market isn't that good. And I don't know if you knew this or not. There might be some issues working for government agencies in the United States if you come from Saudi Arabia and wanted to work on nuclear power plants. So... unfortunately, because of those assholes back in September 11th, you're going to have to go through a shit ton of fucking security. So, here's what I would do. The future prospect of nuclear engineering doesn't look that good in the United States, but it does look that promising in Saudi Arabia. I would go and become a nuclear engineer with the intentions of working in Saudi Arabia, make your money, and then, kind of like the Chinese... you build up in a massive amount of wealth, and then you just buy a place in the United States and you retire there. Or you don't even have to go to the United States. I mean, I don't know, travel to Italy, travel to wherever you want. You might like New Zealand, you might like, I don't know, something more Southeast Asia, you might like Thailand, although you can't buy property there. I think the best economic opportunity presented to you, as it is right now, would be becoming a nuclear engineer in Saudi Arabia, because they got a new program, your timing is perfect, you're smart, you get yourself a degree in physics. So I would do that. I would, and I know, but you're familiar with Saudi Arabia. You're aware of the culture. You can move in there. You come to the United States. There's some adaptability. You're going to face this huge fucking employment hurdle because you come from the Saudi Arabia. We got Donald Trump in office and all that. I think just the easier route where you're going to make the most money is going and working as a nuclear engineer in Saudi Arabia. So I would say conclusively, get your master's in nuclear engineering here in the United States, and then go work as a nuclear engineer in the United States. Now, as for your other questions, let me scroll down here. We are looking for the best, let me just go through this bullet point. Sorry to be so literal. All right, looking for a best city-state that is safe, secure, low crime rate. All right, for the most part, universities are located in safe areas. If you want to see this, look at, not Trinity. What's the name of it? Temple University, Philadelphia. You're coming in from the north on Broadway Avenue, Broadway Street. Shit. Then it gets real nice because that's where Temple University is. I just, like I said, you could go to pretty much any U.S. city and it's pretty safe. Just don't go to the bad parts of town. So, Chicago is a perfect example. The University of Chicago, very nice. You go 5 blocks more south, it's going to be shit. There's always going to be a risk, but I would not let crime deter you. Don't worry. Just be smart. Don't go to the bad parts of town. You can pretty much live anywhere you want in the United States. Cheap. Okay. Cheap means not California, not New York, not the coastal towns. And that's just how it is. I mean, there's a recent article that came out. There's all these professors that can't afford to live in California because of the rent expense. I know there's like Caltech, Berkeley. There's a lot of great and highly ranked schools and programs in California, but you don't want to live there. If you get into the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, sure, that'd be great, but you're going to have also high living expenses. I don't think for your purposes, though, that you have to go to the best school. Again, nuclear engineering is the same thing. The laws of physics, as I'm sure you know, don't change whether you go to MIT or the University of Ohio, despite the reputation differences. So if you get an accredited, legitimate master's degree in nuclear engineering, when you go back to Saudi Arabia, because they're going to honor that and respect that. Would it be great if you went to MIT? Sure, obviously it'd be fine. But I would go online, search the best nuclear engineering programs in the United States. Take the list you get with a pinch of salt. It doesn't, as long as it's accredited, it's going to be good. But you should be able to find something that it's accredited, good, and not in super expensive, like not New York City, not Boston, not San Francisco, not Los Angeles. Unless you were to get, more money from your government or somehow you get like a scholarship from the university itself. So that's cheap. Acceptable weather. Ireland's weather is so different. All right, well, I understand. Now here's the thing. Do not come to the Midwest. Don't go. Here are the states you absolutely want. You want to avoid North and South Dakota. You want to avoid Minnesota. You want to avoid Wisconsin. You want to avoid Michigan. You want to avoid Maine. Anything in the northern states. Because, it's bad enough for me, and I grew up out here, and you don't want to experience minus 30 Fahrenheit weather. You don't. It's miserable. It is miserable, and it will affect your psychology, and as you are aware, with Ireland, it's always raining. So, I don't know if you you're more adapted to warmer or hotter climates. I would look at Arizona, Texas, Florida, although it might be a little bit humid for you, Georgia, Carolinas, North and South Carolina, Tennessee, anything south of the Mason-Dixon line, the southern half of the United States. But I'd be thinking Texas, look, it'd be cool. I think you call it Auschwitz. That's kind of a Texas attitude. I think you'd be all right with Texas. Nevada, that's another place to consider. Arizona. I don't like California. I just don't go to California, man. Just don't go to California. I'm just trying to imagine the map in my mind. Oklahoma is warm. Oklahoma, there's nothing to do there. Kansas City, it's going to get cold. Not too cold, but it's going to get cold. But you might be able to tolerate it. There's some good schools out there. Southern Illinois, yeah, and then yeah, you can go to Alabama and Mississippi, but I don't think you're going to enjoy the culture down there. But Texas is kind of, if there's a good nuclear engineering program you could find in Texas, I'd evaluate it. Now, you have to do your own research. Find out where there are good nuclear engineering programs. Don't make it that the place is your foremost variable you're going to determine to make a decision on. I would find a good nuclear program first, obviously, because that's what you want to do. It's only going to be 2 years, so consider that. But I think you do all right in Texas. See if you can't find a good nuclear engineering program in Texas. Otherwise, Arizona, Nevada, down in Las Vegas. Look, and I know the Saudis, Sin City. Oh my God, you're in Las. Stay off the Strip. There's so much to do in Las Vegas. There's so much to do in Las Vegas. It's such a cool town. And you don't have to engage in the strip clubs or the bars or the drinking in there. There's hiking, there's motorcycle riding. The Grand Canyon's only 4 hours away. Arizona's another nice place. Flagstaff maybe has a program. New Mexico, that's the one I was thinking. Like, ugh. They might, because a lot of the United States nuclear engineering happened, the Manhattan Project happened in New Mexico. And so you find employment there. You might find, it'd be good for your career. It'd be good weather. It's just, I don't think you're going to like the people. It's a lot of hicks, but you hang out with the right people, you have good. So I would look at those southern states: Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Nevada, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia. And then if you want to get a little bit further north, Kansas, Virginia's maybe, East and West Virginia. But first, find out if they have nuclear engineering programs. That'd be there. University's easiness is acceptable, not extremely hard or impossible. I think you meant impossible to finish. Not a 6-year-long PhD program for a below list of Saudi governments. Okay, so let's take a look at this list. It should be a 2-year program. Master should be a 2-year program no matter what. And then the easiness, I think it's going to be universal in terms of easiness. It's not like nuclear engineering is easy anyway. And if you have a degree in physics, it's going to be hard no matter where you go, but you should be able to do it. Arizona State University, good. Boston College is going to be cold, and you're going to deal with Boston University, Browns, I think Ivy League. Caltech, California Institute of Technology. Carnegie Mellon, these are all highly ranked schools. I'll let you know, Case Western Reserve University, College of William and Mary. Colorado School of Mines, they got a nuclear program? Colorado, okay, I take this back. Colorado, it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. But man, Colorado is a fun state. Denver's a great town. That's something to consider. So if the Colorado School of Mines, and that's reputable. If you find if they have a nuclear program there, that's not the worst. Colorado State University, Columbia. These are all good schools. Columbia, Cornell, Ivy League, top-ranked schools, but you're just going to deal with leftist fucking bullshit. Don't go to CUNY. Dartmouth, Drexel, Duke, Emory. Duke is okay. If they have nuclear engineering programs, they're fine. It's just the culture and the ancillary aspects of them. Georgetown, okay, that's in D.C. I don't know if you like D.C. There's going to be a large population of Middle Easterners there, although maybe you don't like the Iranians, which I can understand. Georgia Institute of Technology, another one. Georgia Tech, yeah, that's good. Texas A&M should be on this list somewhere. Harvard, if you can get into Harvard, God bless you. Indiana, don't go to Indiana. Iowa State, don't go to Iowa State. I mean, it's a good school. It's going to be cold. It's going to be boring. Kansas State, Louisiana. Yeah, if you can get in Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Look, if you get an offer from MIT or Harvard and they pay for it, go. Just go. Suffer the cold. Suffer the leftist dickhead morons. Michigan State, if you want to suffer the cold. New York University, North Carolina, Raleigh's, that's a nice town. Northeastern, Northwestern, you're having cold. Ohio, and Oregon, don't go to Oregon if you don't like rain. Don't go to Oregon. Pennsylvania, Purdue, don't go to Purdue. Purdue has a social justice warrior female who doesn't have a real degree. Rensselaer, never heard of them. Polytechnic. Rice, Rochester, Rutgers, Stanford, New York, Buffalo. Don't go to Buffalo. Just stay out of New York. It's going to be too close. Syracuse, stay out of there. Texas A&M, there you go. All right, Tufts, Tulane, Alabama, Boulder, University of... He's just going through all the... Urbana-Champaign. That's a good, reputable engineering school. University of Illinois, Chicago. No, don't go there. Yeah, Urbana-Champaign is a good if they have a nuclear program. Do not come to Minnesota, Twin Cities. Texas, Austin, Knoxville. Yeah, don't go to Madison, Wisconsin. Virginia Tech, that's another one. Yale and Princeton if you can get in. Yeah, here, keep in mind I'm not a nuclear engineer, and hopefully some people down below who are nuclear engineers or work in the field, they'll give you some advice down in the comments section. But if this is the list that the Saudi government is going to pay for, they're all reputable schools. They're all legitimate. These are all accredited. There's nothing wrong with them. Just make sure they have a nuclear program. But yeah, like the Texas A&Ms, the ones I mentioned before, I would check out. Georgia Tech. But just, I would almost look at a map, start south. Start as close to Mexico or the Gulf of Mexico as you can and work your way up. Yeah, but don't do Purdue. Purdue went down the shit toilet. So that's it. So, all right. Anyway, I hope that helped out. About the only thing I would say, look, if you're going to come over here, that's a lot of time and money to fly over here and investment. And I know you can't work, but if there's a way you could travel and just experience the United States, get your ass out to the United States. Get the book Reconnaissance Man. I wrote it, and read chapter 6. It's basically a tour guide. Because it's really sad. It'd be sad like you came all the way over here and you didn't see the best that the United States had to offer. It'd be like going to France and not sampling the food or taking a look at the Louvre or whatever. Going to Britain and not looking at Big Ben. You got to go to the American West. So if, I don't know if your folks or your sister's husband can throw you a couple bucks, you should travel. You should check it out. There's a lot. And if you got questions, let me know. I'll give you like some, you must go visit these places. Unfortunately, they're like way far away from each other because the United States is huge, but you're not going to regret it. And it would pain me personally to know that you came here, you're like all my buddy Sadiq's friends, they just sat and they did work and they didn't explore the United States. It would be really sad if you need to check out the coolest stuff we have to offer. So, all right, hope that helps out. You guys got questions, no matter where you're from, as long as you got money, go to assholeconsulting.com, and I, the world's only professional asshole, America's older brother, the Dark Knight of Advice columns will give you my 2 cents worth of advice. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.